Hey Molly, day one. Hey there, it's just going to be my guitar from here on out. So you can really see things. Here's what we did to do some theory and basic right hand technique. We did a major scale on the first string, starting with the open note, culminating at the octave fret, the 12th fret. To your major scale, up and down. To get from major to minor, we flatten the 3rd, 6th, and 7th scale degrees. That means 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 8. So that's one theoretical takeaway. The other is that in the major scale, your half steps are between the 3rd and 4th note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 8. And in the minor scale, they've migrated. And this is what happens with all more complicated scales. They've migrated to between the 2 and the 3 and the 5 and the flat 6. So it's 1, 2, flat 3. 4 and 5 are unchanged. And we have 5 to flat 6. That's our other half step. To make these more musically satisfying, there's 2 techniques for this first week. One is called on-off. That's when you insert the open note after every scale tone, like this. Descend as well, and same thing in the minor. The other technique I call up down. I'm resting my palm on the low 3 strings so that kind of anchors my hand. My fingers are closed but not clenched, and I'm picking away this pattern. 1, 2, up down. I call this the up down scale. A little bit pianistic. Pianists have patterns like this all the time. And then E minor. It sounds very Spanish when you do it this way. I'm using my first finger. You can use your second, your third. It's usually best to just use one. It keeps it simple. Final thing you want to do is name your notes. So the guitar is a sharp key instrument. Keys which use flats, F, B flat, E flat, etc. are less common or very, very infrequently found except in jazz. So E is our most important key, and so the 4 strings basically sum up our keys that we love: E, A, D, and G. Of course, we have no C string, but all guitar players love C as well. And they go down progressively with sharps. So E is sharp heavy, 4 sharps total. A has 3, D has 2, G has 1, C of course has 0. That's most important for the key of E because I want you to name your notes on the first string as you're playing these scales. So E major is E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E. Once you've gone minor, you've canceled 3 out of 4 of those sharps. The only remaining sharp is F sharp. E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, and E. Transfer those to the low E string to see how it's applicable to either string. E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E. Same for the minor. Okay, moving right along, our pentatonic scales. These are the quintessential rock and pop scales. We're going to do E and A, the primary key pair. Same pattern for both. The major is open, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, and descend. Repeat it starting from an open A string. This is A major pentatonic. Okay, this is the my girl scale, so if you stretch the first note out and compress the others, you get the riff. Then you can modulate to the A, which is the effect of the song. And as you get more comfortable, just do one on each. The minor pentatonic uses more open notes. Open 3, open 2, open 2. And repeat that for A. We'll come up with plenty of riffs moving forward to use on those scales. And now we talked about finger picking. And we talked about bar chords. So with finger picking, there's a style called Travis style. It's very common, where I'm going to start with an open A minor. When you're playing an A form chord, the bass often goes 5, 4, 6, 4, 5, 4, 6, 4. Then in between, you insert the index finger on the G string and the middle finger on the B string, like this. Okay, shift to the E chord, and now your bass is going to be going 6, 4, 5, 4. The top voices will be unchanged. You can anchor with your pinky if you'd like, anchor with anything or not. I often don't anchor, but many people do. Cool. So now we're going to transfer that to bar chords, and you can just make this as an exercise. You can start without alternating the bass, just going 5, 4. Just getting this to repeat. If you get tired of D minor, switch to E minor. But linger there for some time. This is about your left hand clarity and your right hand accuracy. Then you can shift to A major. And this is a very satisfying progression. It's a 1 chord and a 5 chord in the key of D minor. It's like what we call cadence. So then when you switch to that A chord, let's have our bass go 6 to 4. Just perfecting these two will open the doors to so many folk songs. I just listened to a bunch of John Prine beginnings to try to find a minor key song, which I couldn't do. They're all in major keys. But without fail, they all use the Travis style pattern. Okay, so now the more complicated one is to get 3 bass notes, 5, 4, 6, 4. Now you get what we call that alternating bass sound, boom, dum, boom, dum, boom, dum, which makes it sound like you have an accompanist. Then you can move that to A. Of course, now your bass is 6, 4, 5, 4. And then you can switch back to D when you get really comfortable. Maybe write a little song out of this sad song. Not that the world has anything to be sad about at the moment. Every time you lose it, just focus on that thumb. Okay, good. And we talked about While My Guitar Gently Weeps, the bridge. So I suggested, and you can do this not a million ways, but many, many ways, starting with the A bar chord, because it's the same shape as C sharp minor, and I want you to use the minimum amount of motion and no strum pattern. So when I initially saw you do it, you kind of went like this. And sometimes we have to do that, but here you're going to stay low and close. Okay. I don't have a ton of great suggestions with moving through these other chords, except just eliminating variables, meaning no strum pattern. You can sing along. I don't know why. You could also try it in a different key. So to your point about modulating, bar chords enable us to do that very easily and clearly. So this is clearly in the key of A major, but if somebody called out, hey, it's too low, I want to do this for female voice, well, you might say, let's put it up a whole step would be B, let's go up another half step to C. So try the progression in C major. The beautiful thing about bar chords is all the parameters stay fixed. The only unclear chord would be this final one. It's going to be a G at the 3rd fret. You could even try singing it, although the note's going to be very high. I don't know why. Actually, this is a good exercise for you. Teach you just a little bit of modulation or transposition or whatever you want to call it. So you can play While My Guitar Chorus in the key of A or in the key of C. That's everything. Have fun.